Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope everyone had a great weekend, not only guys. And ready to start the next week. Okay, so GJ looks like it's making a retest on the daily. Straight sells or no? Okay. Okay. So we have resistance right here on GJ, and the price is currently making a retest on the daily and also on the 4 hour. So we take a look, 20 pips. If we take an entry here, stop loss should be above this previous retest candle here, because you can see that on Friday we had a breakout here, we had the retest and continuation. So this is a second retest, based on the 4 hour, but on the daily is the first one. It's a little bit, too risky. It's a bit risky to take a trade on the daily, even though it makes perfect sense. But since it's coming after day, as I've said before, I'm not gonna take it, but I'm gonna wait for a better confirmation. What would be a better confirmation? We'll have to wait and see. We need a good reason, not only that. So I think if we do get a rejection and close below the zone here, then I'm gonna think about sells and look for an entry. Before that, nothing. Okay, Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar, see the daily. Okay, so Euro US dollar looks like it's trying to break this resistance, right? And if it does break this resistance, and it's also 4 hour breakout, we might look for some longs here. We might look for some buys here if we do close above, but it's a little bit tricky because we have also small resistance up here, and if it does touch this, then comes for retest, it becomes too risky right away. So we're gonna have to wait and see how it's gonna close. EJ looks the same, but EJ is better because we have clean traffic all the way up to 125.5 of 400, which is a 40 pip range. Let me check the 1 hour. 1 hour, if the previous candle would close above, would be perfect, but looks like it didn't. So we're gonna have to wait for another candle to close. If it does close above, we have a perfect setup here. Yeah, not only 40 but almost 50 pip range. All the way clean traffic on the left. Once we do close above, we're gonna have a very good trade. The future looks bright here. What about UJ? UJ, there's nothing happening on UJ. There's a small resistance here. If it does break above, we might see okay, somebody's on USD CAD sells. If you're on USD CAD sells, you have to think also about the support here. So you have two zones in between. You need to be careful. I'd rather wait for this zone also to break than take a trade. So for now, USD CAD needs to break this support on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour too. So this support is on both time frame, which is a good thing, because once we have a double confirmation both from 1 hour and 4 hour, it's a very good trade. GBP USD 4 hour is testing this previous 4 hour level. A daily is almost the same as GJ, only that GJ closed below support on the daily and GU didn't. So there's a small difference from GJ and GU. Now if we go on the 1 hour on GU, it doesn't make too much sense on the 1 hour. It's too messy. We go on the 4 hour. Go on the 4 hour and we see that we're having a rejection. The same as on GJ. Also here we need more confirmation. Maybe we need a drop first. I think if it does come and drops below this big bullish candle here, that would be a good confirmation for me that price is going to continue to the next zone. But we need to drop below this. There's a small minor support here. If we do break that, we're also getting rejected from 4 hour resistance, or that's only a daily retest too. Breaking minor zone and continuation to the next one. Okay, Aussie dollar. Let's see what we have. Looks like we closed above this small resistance on Aussie dollar, which is also 4 hour resistance. But the breakout was very weak. And when the breakout is very weak, what we do is we try to not take trade. It's only 2 pips closed above, which is not enough. but this zone is very strong. I would like to take a trade on this zone because I don't think it would disappoint us. It's a very strong zone, and every time, look how good it respected this level. Every time price came here, look how good it did reject. Breakout, retest, continuation. Another rejection, another rejection. It closed below, made a retest, continuation. Closed above, made a retest, got rejected, another breakout, another retest, continuation. Another rejection. Now we're having some rejections. We did close above, but it's not enough, only 2 pips. So we're gonna need a better close above. Once we do have that, a retest and continuation to the next zone here. So I think it's gonna be a very good trade. GJ is already dropping. Yeah, I saw it. Let's take a look at Brandon's chart. Yeah, Brandon, I think GCAT trade was done as a break and retest here, even though we have another small support here. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we're gonna get a good close below. Even though I'd rather take TJ. Yeah, what a drop. Daily retest doesn't disappoint. If the daily can go all the way bearish, that would be the ultimate goal. It's not gonna disappoint. Look at daily. It's the best break and retest you can see. So many rejections. So many rejections. Big bearish close below. A retest and continuation. Next range. Next zone is this. And it should, once it does turn bearish, there is no stop for GJ here. It's gonna be over. Is it double top on GJ? What does that mean? Okay, let's take a look at this other chart. GBP waiting for a break and retest. Okay, you can do that. But GA is too volatile for me. I'm not gonna look to trade GA. No, I don't look at patterns or what you're saying. Only focus on break and retest. Okay, let's see. GJ may give us a very good trade here. Just a matter of time. Man, GBP pairs can melt today. GBP pairs can melt today. It's only a daily retest. Gonna have some nice moves to the downside. Just based on the previous candle, there's no signs of going bullish here. Of course, it can go, but just look at the previous candles on a daily. It doesn't make sense to push up now since we closed below. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, so these looks like are the next setups, and we're gonna wait. Next hourly close is gonna tell us a lot of things. A lot of things. Kosovo is very good. It's very good. Nothing special happening, so can't complain. John, I saw your question. How you determine the strong from the weak ones and how long to look left? Must I go to see old support? Not too far. The way that you can determine which one is major or which one is a minor zone is based on rejections. You just compare two zones, and if when price came to the zone, to one of the zones, and after it a few times you got rejected for 100 pips or more, you immediately see that price is, that support is very strong and price is respecting it. But if you see a zone only 2 3 rejections and price broke that zone a few times, didn't really consider it, then that's a minor support. And it's not very hard to see them or to find them. If price breaks off from a zone and touches next zone, then goes for a retest of the broken zone, do you take that trade? Most of the time we don't. Most of the time we don't. Only I take it only if the range is too big. Let's say we have a 50 pips range, we broke that zone, we push 50 pips, then coming all the way down for a retest, then you can expect at least 10 pips uh, rejection, 10 or 20 pips. But if the range is too close, let's say we have resistance here and price breaks above this, doesn't make a retest and goes straight to the zone, then comes for retest, I wouldn't trust this. Why? Because there's a resistance here, and I will take it. And also this all is a daily zone, which means that this can easily uh, happen a fake out here and continuation all the way down. So it depends on how big the range is. We'll see. GJ closing below this, can enter, put a stop just above here, and lead this run all the way down here, filling this range. I think it can be very good setup here. So we'll see. John, I've told this many times before. A major and a minor zone. A major and a minor zone. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have this big consolidation box on GBP AUD. The major zones are this top zone here and the bottom one. Why are these two major zones? Because price can't break either side. It's just ranging in between. So any zones in between here are minor zones. That's why we avoid trading in the middle of the range, because there are minor zones and these are major ones. And when price breaks above minor zones, it might go to the next zone before making the retest. Just like this one here, we closed above, there was no real retest. Then when price came, some people wanted to buy GA, but it's coming from resistance, and that resulted in a fake out. That's a perfect example. EN is having a breakout, so let's take a look at EN. Okay, looks good. We have two zones in between, so it's gonna be a little tricky, but we might give it a shot. Gonna wait. We are going to wait. EJ is trying to break that resistance. We'll see. The 4-hour is gonna play a very big role here, because if it does close above, probably gonna have a move to the upside. Even though daily might continue down to on EJ. We closed below this daily support, but it was not as strong as GJ, for example. And I don't know, we'll have to see. A fake out on the 4-hour or the 1-hour would be the best on EG. Trading the fake out would be way better than trading a breakout here, just because the daily doesn't seem very safe. So if we would have a close above, then a close down below here, a retest would enter the fake out better. UJ. Yeah, UJ is boring, so I'm not even gonna look at it. But we'll see if it does give us a good breakout. There are too many zones in between. John, if there are too many zones uh, full of minor zones, then you just skip that pair and focus on another one. Even though minor zones shouldn't be a problem when you're taking a trade on a major zone. Usually you don't have too many zones. Let's say on GJ we don't have too many minor zones coming up. If we do close below this, then we just need to continue to the next zone here. But if you look at Euro New Zealand, you can see that you have two probably same zones if you look at it in between. So this is a perfect example where we have to skip this trade. Why? Because if price does close above this, then it's already to the next zone here. Coming up from this, there are very high chances of fake outs, so we need to avoid these kind of setups. And the problem is, what if we do wait for both zones to break? Then after break of this, coming for a retest, there's a small chance that it might come a little deeper for that retest and then continuation. So one of the ways we've been practicing is that when that happens, when a breakout happens above this, comes for retest, we don't enter here, but we wait for a deeper retest. We enter in the middle of these two zones, and we only enter some of the positions. Let's say if we use 2% risk, we only enter 1% risk. So we can wait for another confirmation here. Once it does push up, usually after the retest, it's either just gonna reject to the upside or it's gonna leave a small wick, and the next candle, if it does close above, we can enter some more, and you can expect a push to the next zone here. I think we've done that before, but this is another example, and we'll see how it's gonna close, because if it does close just below this, then we're just gonna be in the middle of these two zones, and it's not a very big range, even though it's almost 20 pips, I think. When you look at it, it's not very big, but it's 20 pips. Yeah, it's 20 pips, but I wouldn't trust it if it does just stay in between two zones. So what I would do here is I would wait for both zones to break, then have a look what we can do. Now when you look at a daily, what a daily tells you, if it does support sells here, or does it support buys more? So what's your bias? When you look at a daily and you look at the two previous candles, what happened? 4 candles here got rejected from the same daily zone and couldn't break above it. Then you had this big bullish candle closing all the way above. What do you expect after that? You expect price, when the next candle comes for retest, you expect price to continue up because it's making a retest. You finally have a break above this because it took 4 days and it didn't close above. After on the 5th day, we broke above, came for retest, but didn't respect the zone and came all the way down, closed even below the previous bullish candle. And I've said before that once that does happen, there's high chance of continuation to the downside. And now this candle This bearish candle closed below this. This can be a classic fake out, just like on the lower time frames. This can be a perfect fake out. After price comes here on daily, we can have a rejection to the downside. That would be a complete, a clean fake out on the daily. But I wouldn't take Euro NZD. This is the same as EJ. I would rather take a fake out than trade the breakout here. You know, the best setup here would be if price would reject all the way down, close below the support, I would take sells without doubt here, and target would be clean the next support here. So we're gonna have to wait and see if daily is against our lower time frames. It's not a good thing because it can cause us a lot of problems. Well, let's wait and see. Famous words now. Let's wait and see. I'm using it too much. We have 10 minutes left, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Hello, hello. John, we don't have to look too far now on Euro New Zealand. There's nothing here on the left, so we focus on what we have here. You don't have to go months before. See, there's nothing here. Can't see anything. Tyler, this looks pretty good. CHF JPY, if it does close above, it might give us a good setup. Even though I don't really trade CHF JPY, but we might give it a shot if we do not have any other setup. Yeah, Beitu, what do you think about TJ? Because I'd rather have a fake out here on EJ. I'd rather have a fake out, but we'll have to see. Do you focus on one or multiple pairs? I focus on whichever pair gives me a setup. I focus on that. First, I check these pairs that I have on my right. If one of them does give me a setup, I focus on that pair. Easy. Wow, GU and GJ rejected pretty big, and Aussie dollar can give us a trade too. Closing bullish like this, we might be able to take an entry around here and stop loss just below the current wick here, current candle. Let's see. Next zone is very clear on Aussie dollar. It's another 10 pips. That can be a first target. Let's see. It's gonna be a good setup, I think. John, you need to do a lot of back testing because without it, you not just learn by just watching. You need to try it. You need to back test it. More time spent on it, the better you become. Let's see. Yeah, simulator, it's very, very good to do back testing. You can really test yourself on simulator. Once this candle closes on Aussie dollar, I'm gonna wait for a small pullback. Then I'm gonna enter. Euro NZD, I'm not gonna take a trade on Euro NZD. Even if it does work perfectly, it's just too risky. Okay, the dollar has a very good close. Okay, we don't. No, Aussie dollar shouldn't push straight away. We need a small pullback here. Then continuation to the next zone. I don't focus on double bottoms. I don't look at them. I focus on break and retest. So what are we doing here is that we are waiting for retest now, a small pullback, because the retest is pretty far right now. So we waited for a better close above. So this previous candle closed very nice, bullish, strong momentum. We wanted a small pullback here and continuation. First target, second target after that. But seems like we're not gonna get a pullback here. At what point would you enter? I just thought I'm just gonna wait for a small pullback here. It doesn't need to come all the way down to this zone here, the blue one, because this was already a retest. The only thing is that it was a weak breakout, so we needed a better confirmation. That's why. No wick at the top, that means even better. No wick at the top means strong momentum. EJ, okay, EJ looks pretty good too. I don't know about TJ. I don't know. I mean, it looks very good, but and it's gonna be a risky trade. Yeah, 1 hour might need to come lower to enter a trade here. Okay, big push or big drop. Yeah, so like I said, I'd rather wait for a fake out, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna enter some buys here on EJ right now. Let's see if it's gonna work. I'm gonna use a stop loss just below the breakout candle, which will be around 6 pips, not more than that. We'll have to wait and see now. The retest should have been way below here to this blue zone here, but it already happened. So we broke this previous high here, and to be honest, the momentum is pretty good. Left no top wick on both candles, and this needs to go bullish, create a wick, After that, we can secure some and leave some run. Is Aussie dollar testing 4-hour resistance? The next 1 hour's resistance is here. The 4-hour, let me see. Thing is, this is a 4 hours resistance for Aussie dollar, and the next one is around here too, so it's pretty close. Aussie dollar is a little bit messy now, so skipping it. That's why I took EJ instead. We'll see. I'm using a low risk on EJ because I don't trust it that much. The daily still can continue down, so that's why I'm also using only 6 pips just below the previous candle, because if it does go below this, we might see a good drop to the downside. So needs to stay above this if it does want to continue to the upside. Is it a good idea to wait for a bullish candle with a higher close and a higher high before entering the pullback? If you think it's a good idea, you can wait for that, but most of the time you're gonna end up with a late entry, and you're gonna have to use a bigger stop loss. So if I wait for this candle to go all the way up here and create a new high here, then enter, I'm gonna have to use a stop loss of almost 20 pips if I wait for that. You can do that to wait for more confirmation, but this is the way I trade. I enter right away on the retest because I want to go with the momentum. If momentum is strong, you're gonna have a good close just like this, then a small pullback as a retest, and you expect continuation. What I'm gonna probably do is that once it does turn bullish, I might take some profits, which was gonna be 10 pips. If it does turn bullish. Gregory, I think if you heard me, I said I'm taking a buy here. So yes, I'm in a trade. Okay, very nice rejection. This is a good sign. It's a good sign that we already have rejections. Once we do make a wick here, which we should do now, very close, another push expected, and we get 10 pips, and we can secure some and leave some run. Yeah, 1-to-1 risk reward, that would be my first target. Then we'll see. Thing is, we have also a small minor zone here, so that can be also one of the reasons why I would close at 10 pips. It's a little bit messy here, so once it does goes bullish here, I'll secure some just to be sure. Why do these bots, or what are they? They never stop. Comments from them never stop on YouTube. Let's go, EJ. Just another small push, and we are getting what we want here. Do you trade the flag? No, I don't. I don't trade the flag pattern. Look, on most of these kind of, patterns, or how you call it, on most of them, you're gonna need to wait for a breakout. So if you trade the flag pattern, you're gonna need for a breakout. If you trade head and shoulders pattern, you're gonna need for a breakout. So basically every way of trading somehow needs a breakout. If this is, let's say, a flag pattern, then you would need to break of this resistance, or a break of this support, let's say here, then a retest to continue down. So basically everything is a break and retest. It just people use different names for them. Did you start with a small account? Yes, like everyone else. In the beginning, I started with a small account. Blew it in a few days. Not in a few days, actually. It took a month, I think. It's taking too long. We need to go bullish as soon as possible. Would you take CAD JPY 4 hour? Send me a chart, Benjamin. I'll take a look. How long did it take you before it became profitable? I think it took me a year until I found break and retest, and once I started to use profit, I somehow immediately started to become profitable because the win rate, the consistency with this is crazy. I've never seen a way of trading that's more consistent. There are a lot of different ways, but that means for me. I tried a lot of things, and this became the one with the most consistency. Isaac, welcome. Well, this looks pretty good, CAD JPY. The only thing is this rejection here from this resistance. That's the problem. If you do take this, I'll probably would use a very small risk. The breakout is good. The only thing is that the retest didn't happen before making the move, but it's coming after the move. So that's the only problem. But if this wasn't there, this would be a perfect break and retest. Aussie dollar not taking it. I said before now, 4 hour is somehow at resistance, and you can see every time price came how at this level how it got rejected, so it's a risky trade here. I'm gonna skip it. Too many zones in between. This EJ is taking too long. The value level is stronger than that it's coming from. Yeah, it looks very stronger than the one it's rejecting, but like I said, it's better to use less risk. The trend is bearish on EJ? I don't think so. The trend on EJ is still bullish, and this can be just a pullback for continuation to the upside. So there's no breakout of the trend yet. We need to break a key zone for EJ. See, if we do break below this support on EJ, which was key level, because you can see once it did break above that, huge push to the upside. And now if it does break that again, that's when the trend is going to change. This previous daily candle is not going to change the trend. The trend is still bullish overall. So this can be just a small pullback for continuation to the upside again. Even though I said before that the previous daily candle makes me a little bit uncomfortable because it was very strong, somehow closed below the zone, but it was not a good breakout. So I said that I'll probably take a fake out before the breakout, but we had a breakout here, so said I'm gonna risk it. Why not? Because you don't know what's gonna happen if you don't risk it. If we have 30-minute bearish candle above support, do you consider it on a problem? I don't look at 30-minute at all, so I don't have to consider anything. No lower time frames than 1 hour. It's one of my rules. Yeah, I tried to trade rejections on major zones before, but it didn't end well. That's why I stopped doing that. Do you think it's a problem when a breakout candle closes with no wick at the bottom on the top? No, I've said this like so many times. Based on my opinion, it is a sign of strong momentum. When that happens, it is a sign of strong momentum. Or how else would you get a big bullish candle without a momentum? If the momentum is strong, you're gonna have a breakout. And a candle closing without leaving a wick to the top or to the bottom, it just shows how strong momentum is, and it shows that price can continue to that way, that direction. That's what I think. People have different opinions on it. It all depends on your experience. That's based on my experience. That's what I've seen until now. Selling EJ on the retest of this trend line, not my way of trading, but good luck. Good luck on your trade. What about 1 hour bearish candle above support? If this candle closes bearish like this above the support, that means nothing. That means that price is respecting the support and the next candle should start to push, if that's the case. If you are trying to say what would be a sign that would cause us problems, a close below this would cause us problems. That's when I would say, okay, I'm gonna close, or I'm gonna wait for my stop loss to hit. That's the only thing. As long as price stays above this, it still can continue to the upside. Unless it breaks below this, then there's no sign of going down. So we'll see. Based on this 1 hour, price should continue and fill the range, but we have small minor zone here on the left, which can cause a little problem. So once it does, once this turns bullish, we can secure some and move my stop at break even. Even if the candle closes bearish but above the zone, it doesn't matter how it does close as long as it stays above. See here, for example, price close bullish, then you had big drop. It just can take time. It doesn't matter how it's gonna close as long as it stays below that. That's what I think. Is it too late to get in? Based on my strategy or the way I trade, it is a bit late. Yeah, I trade the 1 hour and the 4 hour most of the time only. Daily also comes into consideration when we take trades. EuroCAD 4 hour. Brandon, I think EuroCAD is a little bit too messy. I think I would skip this for now. It looks pretty strong support here, but I bet on the 1 hour it's even worse. In a small break and retest of this, probably is going to push the next zone here, but I think it's too risky. EJ, I don't know about EJ. It's still not managing to push, and not a good sign. Not a good sign because we had good momentum here. We needed to follow that with another push, but it didn't happen. So, thing is, the more time it takes, it just becomes more uncomfortable holding it. That's the only thing. What's your profitability rate in terms of percentages? Don't understand your question. It's more than 80%, that's for sure. Or at least 80%. GBP CAD. Breakout, where's the breakout? Where are you pointing? Enter to one price rejecting. We need more explanation here because I don't really understand what you did here. Are you waiting for breakout or did you enter? Because you're saying enter to one price rejecting. I don't know, and I don't see a breakout, so it's a little bit messy. Okay, we have another chart here. How do I send my chart to review? Go to your trading view, do some analysis, and you have the link above. You just copy the code, this one here that we're using, and you can send it here. Make sure your trading view is public, and that's all. GBP CAD, break and retest continuation. A lot of you guys are waiting for GBP CAD, and I'm trying to avoid GBP CAD just because it's very volatile, and I think this support is not as good as this was, so I'd rather take this support, a break and retest, than this one here, which I don't see that it's very strong. I wouldn't trust it that much with only these rejections. I'd had a reservation about it, and I'm having, that's why I'm not looking to enter GCAD. Don't trust it. Come on, EJ, taking too long. We still have another 30 minutes left for this candle to push up, but the more time it takes, the less I trust this. If you see two perfect setups at the same time, do you only choose one and ignore the other one? I choose the one that has a better you know, that has a better setup. If yeah, you said if they have both perfect setup. Well, let's say I have GJ and I have EJ at the same time and they both perfect setups. I would choose GJ because GJ is a lot better and it moves way more than EJ. So I would choose GJ because has more volatility. You know, it would give you 20 pips faster than EJ. EJ would take more time and GBP pays more. Or you can do also that you can trade both and manage the risk. If you're using 2% risk on a trade, then you can split 1% for the one pair, 1% for the other pair. But I don't think that's needed. EJ finally pushing. Let's see. We are about to turn bullish, or we did turn bullish. Very nice. Finally. Okay, perfect. We have 10 pips. Okay, perfect. 10 pips, still pushing, 12 pips, 13. Let's see. I am securing some and leaving some run with stop loss at break even. Nice one. Secure some, leave some run. Stop loss at break even to protect your run. So it's your choice if you wanna close only 50%, or if you wanna close only 80% and leave 20%. It's all your choice. Very nice. Yes, sir. It was nice. Yeah, patient pace. We waited for more than 1 hour and we got the trade. Now we just have to set and stay still, watch a movie and see how far it's gonna go. Now, it's been happening a lot of times until now that the theory what happens after it leaves no top wick, it's been asked, it's been happening a lot of times, and you can confirm it by yourself. You can see what happens after the breakout candle leaves no top wick. Just another day confirming that it's gonna push above that after the retest. Yeah, the thing is now, see where price is at now. We have this small minor zone here, and this can cause some problems. Only small problems. That's why I secured some and left some run, because this can cause problems and price may reject this, which is happening right now. But let's see, still can push to the upside to the next zone if it does break that minor one on the left. Okay, so now what do? We need to see what we're gonna have next. Yeah, next candle can be another push maybe to the upside. We'll have to see. If price comes down again, that might be a rejection from the zone and continue down. We need to see. Let's look at other pairs if we do have any setup. Yeah, USD CAD can be a good trade if it does close below, even though I wouldn't be very comfortable taking it, because if we would wait for a breakout, that would mean that we need at least 10 pips, even though it would take, even if 5-6 pips break below, but the range is only 10 pips until the next support here, where all these candles are closed, which means the next support. And if it does that, it's going to be very close to the next range, next support, so it's going to be risky. Let's take a look. GJ and GU rejected again. They got rejected again. The thing is now, you can see how it's not been able to break this minor zone. Now it's just confirming that we have a zone here. Just giving us more confirms, more rejections, the better it gets. Why? Because when you break this, we're gonna have a good drop. For now, it's rejecting. There's no trade. What if it does break above? Then we'll have to see. I wouldn't be comfortable going against the daily. That's what's the problem here. Aussie dollar, it's rejecting, but there's also resistance here. I'm gonna skip it. Okay, NZD, US dollar. Looks like we have a small consolidation box here, which we need to break in order to start a move. What are we gonna do here is we're gonna wait for a break to either side. Yeah, thing is, you can see that on the daily we're at support. We are at support on the daily, so it might take some time until you get that breakout. Because that daily support is gonna hold. Yeah, so EU went pretty well too. It's coming to this next resistance. Can we consider this as a retest? I wouldn't take sells here. I think would be very risky. Even though it's also sorry. It's also a daily retest, almost looks like it. But what worries me is this daily support, and we didn't quite have a break below, and also left a big wick, which also is a daily support. So a lot of things against sells here. Pedro, I would skip this if I were you, because I would wait for more confirmation. What would be a better confirmation here on Euro USD if we would like to take sells? I think rejecting from this resistance, coming closing below, then a retest of this zone and continuation. That would be the safest way. I think it's too momentum is very strong now. Take sells here. It would be very risky. This is what I would like to happen here. EJ is pushing again. Let's see. Looking at it right now, next candle may push all the way to next zone. That can happen too. Wow, GJ close went all the way bullish. Still, I wouldn't look for buys on GJ. See, dailies is at resistance. It would be too risky to take it. I wouldn't be comfortable taking buys on GJ right now. What can we expect from GJ is, yeah, you see, very messy. All these big wicks, big candles. It's very messy now. Yeah, so only gonna look for sells. We need to push down, maybe close below this support here. Then we'll take a look. But for now, nothing. GCAT. See, GCAT is pushing up now. I can't really trust GCAT most of the time. It used to be a very good pair to trade, but now it's very volatile lately. Okay, so I don't know who. Yeah, Benjamin sent me the CAT JPY. Looks like what you can do on CAT JPY is also wait for this resistance to break, which would be even better than waiting for that 4-hour retest, because coming all the way down there, it looks very risky right now. Actually, this looks like the next zone on CAT JPY. It's not too far. It's only 10 pip range, but why not? Even though I think the breakout should be at least 5-6 pips, and it would leave only a small range to fill, and probably would go to the next zone without a retest. So it looks like there's no trade either here. Euro NZD. Looks like it did respect the zone. Good. Probably one of you guys took it, because a lot of people were waiting for Euro NZD. So at least one of you took that. Because I don't know, even if I say don't take it, someone will take it. GBP CAD stopped me out. Why it has so many rejections? Because you did take a trade without any confirmation. I don't understand your trade. You just took sells while price was dropping. You didn't wait for a candle to break below the support. I think you have so many things that would say to you don't take the trade than things that would say to you take the trade. You have more confirmations against taking the trade on GCAD. When I take a trade, I look I look for signs that would tell me why I shouldn't be taking a trade. And if there is none of them, then I feel very comfortable on that trade. On EJ, there was nothing happening that would say to me close the trade. That's what I said before. As long as it stays above this, price is going to continue up, and that's what it did. If I would have a sign that price may continue in the opposite direction of what I'm waiting for, then I would consider to close the trade or do something. But as long as it didn't say anything against my idea, then no reason to be stressed or anything. Morning. Your cat, yes. Take a look at your chart, man. How do you pronounce your name? Let's take a look. Okay, forgot to put this. Your CAD. Okay, waiting for that to break. Well, it looks good, but as I said before, because Brandon also sent the chart for your CAD, it's a little bit risky. By the way, Friday your CAD went very nice. Those who kept it, who held or who took the cells. Okay, EuroCAD. We can see we have support here. Price coming from support. We can see we have another small minor zone here too. And we can see we have another small minor zone here too. We have too many zones in between for EuroCAD. And I would skip this, like I said before. I would skip this because it has too many zones in between. Euro NZD 30-minute. I don't understand this trade. PUBG. Send more explanation because I don't know what you're looking for, why you're taking buys. Also, we don't use 30-minute time frame, so we need more explanation. Why did you close EJ? I didn't close everything on EJ. Still have some runners, but I closed most of my positions. Why? Because we have this small minor zone here, which can cause some problems. And it is causing problems because it's been here for 20 minutes and it can't push above that. But maybe next candle is going to do that. So let's wait and see. Had a reason to close before 20 pips or before reaching the next zone. Can you take a buy after retest on Euro JPY? No, you can't. It's gone now. It's moved 13 pips. You're late. Do you enter a trade once the wick of the candle tests the support, or do you wait for the candle to form? I think you have the answer here on the chart. Okay, so we have the next candle. Looks like the momentum is not that strong now. It's not that we're having a lot of movement. Can we expect a pullback before breaking the zone on EJ? We can. We can expect a pullback because you can see all these rejections that happened before on this level, so we can't just ignore them. We even had a break and retest on this zone. You can see the breakout, the retest. Price closed below, made a retest, got rejected first, then closed above, moved to the upside. So We can expect the same now if we do close above, then maybe a retest of this zone too. But this zone is not as strong as this one, and I would be comfortable taking this. Did you learn from Raja Banks? I learned from a lot of people, not directly. I was not a student of Raja Banks. But I participated in a lot of webinars that Raja did, so we all learned different things from each other. But I didn't have a mentor. Does orders feel slower when you are trading bigger lot size? I think yeah. Trading 100 lots, it's not the same as trading 0.01. So bigger lots may take a little more time than to fill the open orders than the small lot size. Gregory, 4 years. I trade since 2016. No, I haven't heard about Sierra chart and order flow numbers, and I don't even have in plan to hear about them. Uh, Everything that comes new, it's not maybe good to say that I don't want to learn something new, because I want to learn something new, but not anything that it's gonna take me away from break and retest. I learned something new about break and retest, because since I started taking this, it just trading break and retest, it just got better and better at the time, because I found bugs. I found what are the disadvantages, what can happen with break and retest. For example, in the beginning, we didn't know why fakeouts were happening, but by the time we discovered why fakeouts happen, and we discovered a way how to make the break and the fakeouts work. We discovered or we learned how to manage to avoid being faked in a trade. A lot of things. So in the future, I expect this strategy to become even better. Or how? By trading it, by seeing how can we make this even better. Even this small percentage that ends up being a fake out, how to manage to avoid that too, so we can have even a better win percentage here. So we are open to learn new things, but to not go on a different thing than this, because if this is profitable for me, why would I change it? There is no reason to change it. So as long as this works, I'm not gonna change the way I trade. I'm always gonna be trading break and retest even when I'm old, because while you get older, you get even more patience, and I'm gonna wait all day for a breakout. I don't mind to do that. I'll be right back. Just taking a small break. Okay, guys. There are many scam trading courses out there. Can you recommend any trading courses? Yeah, mine. Like everybody would say, my course. Okay, guys, so let's take a look what we have next. For the if you want to look at the trend, you need to look at it daily, because daily will tell you the whole story, and 1 hour 4 hour then should follow the daily. Looks like Aussie dollar got rejected, pretty good. GJ is not still ranging, not pushing or dropping either. So let's take a look. Looks like we're not gonna have too many chances right now. Looks like EJ was the last and the first trade for this London session. Okay, so yeah, just gonna look and see which is gonna be my next trade. Okay, so my next trade is gonna be NZD US dollar. Gonna wait for breakout. Price is pushing right now. We might have a break. Yes, we won a trade. Euro JPY was our winning trade. So I'm gonna wait for a breakout. I'm gonna enter on the retest. First target, next resistance. Entry is gonna be at 0.65450, around there. Extended target, first target. Stop loss is going to be around the middle of the range. I think I'm going to use 15 pips just above. If this is going to be the breakout candle, then I'm going to put this stop loss below it, sorry, and would be in the middle of the range. Why? Because if price let's say turns to be in a fake out, needs to close back in the range. If it does close back in range, it's going to make a retest. Stop loss is going to be here, and we're going to have more room to manage the trade. If it does have a fake out, we can then close at break even, and or maybe if price decides to be a fake out, can push straight down. But what we know most of the time is we're going to have a retest even on a fake out. So we need a breakout, can enter on the retest. First target is 20 pip range, I think. Yeah, we have a 20 pip range. Not too much traffic on the left, so I think this is going to be pretty good. So wait for a breakout. let's see. I have to go now, guys. I'm gonna have to go. So this is a trade you're gonna have to wait for. Once we do have a breakout, we can wait for the retest and enter. I think it's gonna be a very nice trade. It's a very nice trade because you know that consolidation boxes is one of my favorite setups. And once we do have a break, see, we've been consolidating for days here. Days, not maybe days, but well, actually days. Almost 4 days consolidation on this on between these two levels. So once we do have a break, I'm gonna expect a pretty good move to the upside. And first target is gonna be 20 pips. Second target to the next resistance here. Wait for a breakout. What if it does break below? If it does break below, you have the same thing also. Wait for a break below, a retest. Stop loss can be at the same place, 15 pips. You have, looks like you got better range to the downside. Yeah, we have a 30 pip range to the downside. Better than to the upside. Price for now is showing some bullish momentum, so we might see a break to the upside, even though it's nothing official yet. And once it does break below, stop loss in the middle of the range, which would mean 10-15 pips stop loss, target 30 pips. First I would take 20, but leave some runner to the next zone. There's plenty of time. You don't look at the US index before entering? No. Wicks are also a zone, but it matters when candles are closed. That's where the real support is for me. Okay, I'm gonna have to go now, guys. Thank you all for participating, and see you tomorrow for some. See you later. Have a nice day. We caught a nice trade today. EJ, it's still going. We'll see where it's gonna go. I'm still having some runners. Next zone is here, but we're having problem at this current resistance, so we'll see. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Thank you.